We're here with Gary from Ohio Roof and Restoration. Perfect name, because we're talking roof replacement now and what you guys do. And I guess, first of all, Gary, let's just define when we're talking a roof replacement. Is that just the shingles? Or is that what's under the shingles? What is that?
Well, the shingles are just one component of a roof.
Okay.
In order to have a roof and have it last, there's really three items. It's the proper roof, obviously.
Yep.
But you also need the right ventilation and the right insulation.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised how many homes don't have the right insulation and ventilation. Sometimes they have blown-in insulation.
All right.
And there's something called baffles that you put in between the rafters when you blow that insulation in, because you don't want that insulation going onto the soffit, because the soffit, there's different types of soffit. Some of it's perforated, some of it has hidden vent, or some of it just has vents plugged in every so many
And the role of that is to let air come on in.
You not only need air coming in, but you need air going out. So if you don't have that, if you don't have the right insulation, ventilation, a lot of it can result, this winter, a lot of it can result in bad ice damming. The other thing is your shingles can prematurely just go bad. They can curl.
Okay.
They can lose granules maybe a little more than they normally would. So we look at all those things when we do a roof.
So having the air come in and go out at the right pace and having enough of it is really important for the longevity, really. Of the
right. You need something called a net-free area, and the net-free area around the house, around the soffit, needs to be the same as the net-free area for exhaust. Otherwise, you don't have the proper ventilation.
So the ventilation is really important. It's kind of funny because that's when you think, when I think of a roof, it's like, well, no, that's the thing goes on top. But you're talking, this is a system you guys are talking about.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. And if you don't have the entire system properly, you're going to have a premature failure of the roof. They're going to curl. They're going to all kinds of things can happen that shouldn't happen, but the roof's not going to last as long as it's made to.
Knowing that now, can I ask then, what's your approach when you have to replace a roof? Because it's not just putting down some boards and nailing down some shingles. What's your guys' approach? What do you look at? What do you consider?
We'll go into the attic. We'll ask for permission to go and look in the attic, and we'll make sure the insulation seems to be what it needs to be. But more importantly, we'll look for baffles around the attic to make sure it's been baffled so that insulation isn't sitting on the soffit where it gets the intake. And then we'll look at the vents that they have now. In some cases, what we call box vents or turtle vents on top of the roof, they don't provide the type of exhaust that ridge ventilation can do.
Okay.
So we use a ridge vent that maximizes the exhaust. It has the way it works is even a slight breeze blows over it, it will actually draw air out of that attic.
Okay.
So you want to get that superheated air out of the attic, but in order to do that, you have to have the proper intake. Now, some houses don't have any intake, we'll find. And so what we do there is there's a product called Edge Vent that we put down at the bottom of the roof, above the gutter area, that it can be shingled over so it looks like it's part of the roof.
Okay.
But it leaves a small area for intake so air can get inside up to that ridge vent where it can get pulled out, and now you have air circulating there.
This is interesting because, again, it's like a roof is usually something that just goes on a house, but you're really thinking about what's happening under that roof to make it last longer.
Exactly. And like I said, you need that net-free area intake and exhaust in order for it to have longevity.
So once you've got that all figured out and you're down to putting on the roof, then does a roof always have to be totally replaced? In other words, does all the boards and everything have to come up, or do you identify good boards, bad boards?
Well, that's a good question. We always do a complete tear-off.
Okay.
Sometimes roofers will go in order to get the job and to keep the price down, they'll do a roof over. Now, what happens there, and you can only do that if it's 3-tab shingles, which are the flat shingles.
Now, roof over, is that just putting shingles on top of shingles?
Shingle on shingles, yes. But they'll do that on 3-tab roof, which is the flat shingles, not the dimensional shingle that we use. And the reason for that is no matter what, we don't want to go back because there's problems with that roof.
Yeah.
So we do a complete tear-off of the roof, and at that point, we assess the decking. You know, or is there soft decking? Did water get under there?
Yeah.
Sometimes water can get under there, but you don't know it.
Okay.
You don't have a leak or anything, but the wood can rot. So we'll take up any rotted sheeting and replace it. And then, of course, we go back over with the felt. We use a synthetic felt. It's much better than what was known as tar paper back in the day.
Yeah.
People still use that, but we just use that synthetic felt. It costs more, but it gives you a better shield against any leaks on the roof.
Geez, and again, as long as you're up there doing it, you know, already getting the roof done, you want to get it done right.
So we'll do that, and we'll do the ice and water shield around the bottom. Now, the ice and water shield, the code is it has to go 24 inches into a heated area. So if you have a 1 foot soffit, we can put 3 feet of ice and water shield. If you have a 2 foot soffit, now we do 2 rows of it to help prevent more leaks, or any leaks, I should say.
How long does a roof replacement take? And I know that's probably, it depends on the size of the roof, but
exactly.
Typically, let's take a typical, I don't know,
I mean, we can be on
2,000-foot house.
We can be on and off a roof in a day.
Oh, okay, all right. From start to finish, from getting the old thing off to getting the new one on.
Correct. However, if a roof is very cut up, it has a lot of facets to it and all that, and there's a lot of cutting of shingles in order to, just make things look right.
Sure.
That's very time consuming.
Okay.
So that can take, a couple of days, or depending on the size of the house, it could take a few days.
All right, one last question.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. One last question. What about the mess that's when you're taking off that old roof? How are you protecting my bushes and?
We make sure we tarp everything off.
Okay.
Any furniture that's there, if the homeowner hasn't removed it, we'll remove it for them.
Okay.
Because we don't want anything falling on their patio, their grills, their furniture out there. So we'll take care of that. As far as the landscaping, we make sure that we tarp everything off. We're very careful about it. We pick up all the wrappers and shingles that were cut off the ground, and obviously they go into a dumpster. All the nails we run around with a large magnet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it just rolls around.
Looks like a lawnmower, except it's from nails, huh?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
And then so we pick up the nails. Now, do we get every nail? I'm not going to lie and say we do, because it's just impossible. There's thousands of nails on that roof.
Yeah.
We get as many as we can.
Okay.
We definitely look for any place people would walk on, entrance
Bare
ways
feet and such, come summer.
And the driveway, of course.
Yeah.
We don't want any flat tires.
Yeah.
So we use a microscope on that to make sure that's taken care
great.
of. But we'll run around and we'll take visual look at it as well to make sure that there's no visible nails anywhere around. But the maggot takes care of most of
But
it.
it's possible to get a new roof in a day, maybe 2 days, if need be. So,
Yes, yeah.
Fantastic.
And the homeowner would probably kind of know, because they know what size house they have. And, my house is going to probably take a day, or my house might take 3 days.
If you're looking for a new roof, you might want to call Gary and get him on
right.
it. So thanks a lot, Gary.
Please do. My pleasure. Thank you.